name is Rena. If you're new here, then welcome. Welcome to the year of 2022, first episode of Sunscreen. I've got one window on because it's just so hot and I need a bit of air, like I'm literally sweating at the moment. But I've been waiting to do this video for a long time because of holiday and everything, and I did a poll recently asking you guys in the community, and apparently the Q&A question and the sunscreen are two most popular answers. So today I've coming at you with 7 sunscreens here, and like always in my videos, if you guys watched any of my previous sunscreen reviews, I rank them from my least favorite to my favorite. The criteria are actually simple. I come from my personal reference, so my rules are the SPF level, if there are chemical mineral sunscreens, does it work well with makeup, what sort of finishes it does. So I have my own personal sort of matte finish that I would like to prefer, but I'll let you know all the details, so you can always rank them slightly different based on your preferences. It's just this way it's a bit easier for me to say whether I recommend or not. And I do have a whole playlist for the year of 2021 and for the year of 2020, so I'll leave those links somewhere in case you guys want to have a look. I'm so sweating now, like oh my gosh, sweating. But it's really good sunlight at the moment. At least that's how I see myself in the viewfinder. I hope that's how it shows when I'm editing it. Without further ado, let's just dive into today's video. If you like sunscreen reviews, don't forget to give me a like and consider subscribe down below. Like I mentioned, the previous playlist was somewhere down in the description box. Let's go for my least favorite. This time we got mainly Australian sunscreens, and they are mixed in mineral and chemical sunscreens. And unfortunately, the number 7th place one is the Coles Ultra Zinc Sunscreen SPF50 Plus UVA UV both spectrum protection, suitable for sensitive skins. It is a fragrance-free version and it has 4 hours water resistance. So this one retail around $15. They're always on sale for this particular product, like crazy, better than half price sale from time to time. So you can always wait for those time to get it, but I generally just really don't like it, and I don't recommend you pick it up at any time. Like I said, I give you a big 100ml bottle and it's a pump design, so I was really interested to try to see how this one works. This one does contain zinc oxide 20%, but it also contains some chemical sunscreens. So I was hoping it can be a really good combination sort of sunscreen. Doesn't leave huge white cast, and yet it has this physical sort of barrier to protect the UV damage, and it feels nice and not so sensitive, unlike it's suggested for sensitive skins. The problem with this one is it is super thick. It feels just like a toothpaste thick. And when you rub it on your skin, you feel this very, very heavy layer. Like I can feel my hand now is like it's almost like suffocated. My hand cannot breathe at the moment. And that sort of feeling stays on your face or the rest of your body for the entire time while you're wearing it. It's definitely not pleasant. And you can see the white cast is quite obvious. Even though I let it dry, I let it sort of absorb a little bit, and there's still very obvious white cast that I can notice from the few times I've used, so I really don't recommend it. The finish by itself I do not want to wear alone, and yet it doesn't work super well with my makeup. It sometimes makes it so easy to clump and peel, so it's just really hard for me to think of a way of using it. I probably will try to use it on my body from time to time, you know, every now and then. I think I'm having a little bit drier skin, maybe I can just use this as a thick moisturizing, not really moisturizing, but you feel that layer of protective of all the moisture because it's so thick on your skin. Apart from that, I don't really think of a way of using it. So it has good claims and everything, it's just the performance, it's just terrible, unfortunately. And coming in number 6, I've got something I really wanted to love again, and unfortunately it's a fail. It's the National Geographic SPF50 Plus very high protection sunscreen lotion, 4 hours water resistance, dermatological tested, and it's got a 75ml bottle, and this is a roll-on version. I think I've mentioned before I don't really enjoy a roll-on. I would prefer more of like a squeezing tube or something, because this is what happens. Like you get some product here but some not, so it's not very evenly distributed on your face, and not mention we need to apply quite a bit, so you do have to use it over and over again. I do find one good use when it's a roll-on version. If I want to use it on Emma and she hates me rubbing her for some reason, she thinks I'm too harsh, the rolling on is easy for her and for me. So she can do it herself, or I can do it for her, and it's fine. So I guess this is where that convenience come in play. But apart from that, just talk about the product itself. It's a full chemical sunscreen. It really reminds me of the Cancer Console Everyday 30 Plus sunscreen. You know, nothing special, very old school, old fashioned sunscreen. It gives a bit of shine. This is looking a lot better than what A shows on my face because there's not enough on the back of my hand. It does work okay with makeup, but that greasy, shiny feeling, it's just a little bit oily. And I've tried like a lot of sunscreen by now, so I feel like I'm a little bit more harsh on the product that I really like or don't like. Sometimes you realize the top one is definitely not my top 10 if you put all the collection together, but it just happened to be that roundup. I just really don't have any super good ones. So this is one of those situations. I've got some really good ones this time. So even though this performance is alright, not too bad, and I can still see sorry, I'm just shuffling things around. I can still see myself finding something even better. So this is number 6 place. And the brand, National Geographic, it's a brand that if you guys watch BBC documentaries, or if you're old school, you read magazines, like I know the brand from the magazines that I used to read. I used to subscribe them to like their annual subscriptions when I was little. So I really do love, like I wanting to pick this up because I recognize this brand. But if you're someone, you know, just didn't know or not interested, this might not be a product that you even wanted to pick it up, which is a good thing in this case. Alright, moving on to number 5. We're getting into some product that I think is workable. So I may recommend, like if you have no other options, but definitely not my favorite. So we're coming with a Cancer Console product. This is their Ultra Sunscreen, very high UVA, UVB protective lotion for harsh UV conditions. It's got SPF 50 plus, broad spectrum protection, like I mentioned earlier, 4 hours water resistance, but I recommend you to reapply every 2 hours. We've got 110 mils here. This is a chemical sunscreen as well. I don't know if you guys remember, I used to have an ultra cooling sunscreen. I believe they're the same, but that one's got that cooling sort of effect. This is almost an okay product to be used more on the body rather than on the face. So when it goes on the face, it doesn't peel or anything, and it works well with makeup, but it's just a little bit too oily. Like it's too greasy as a base before I do anything else. So I don't really wanting to use it alone by itself on the face, but I can sort of tolerate this on the body. I always feel like I'm more generous when it becomes a sunscreen to be applied on the body, although I do have one of my favorite here. So nothing's gonna beat it so far unless I find something even better. But I was about to recommend it until I had a bit of sensitivity where I bleached my hair, facial hair. And when I used this after the day I've done my bleach, it was so burning. It was crazily burned. So I know this is not going to be super sensitive skin friendly, which reminds me the ultra cooling one. I mentioned it was stinging on my face and I thought it was that cooling, maybe because it was just not super sensitive skin friendly. So I think I'll use this up to be used on my body, but I personally would not repurchase this one for sure. And coming number 4, this I'm actually surprised this only comes in number 4. I would think this would go far like further into the top 3 maybe. This is the Ulta Violette SPF 50 plus lens screen. This is a mineral mattifying fragrance-free sunscreen. I've got a travel size here that I use my rewards point from Sephora, which I love getting small size sunscreen these days because I just have way too many. This one contains 22.75% zinc oxide and is pure mineral sunscreen, and it's a mattifying formula. It gives a little bit of tint that it's just enough to counteract that sort of white cast, I guess. I wouldn't call it as a tinted sunscreen, but it has a little bit of color. I believe all skin tones can tolerate it. You can use it with or without makeup and it wouldn't change your foundation color, if that makes sense. I loved everything about it. I think it's really good, but why this is not my top 3? Because I think it's a little bit expensive. When I use this, I immediately think of the New Day Skin one, which is hard to purchase, but it was more affordable. Or if looking for a chemical version, I can think of the tinted version from Cancer Console, from Hamilton. They're all pretty good as well. So I wouldn't personally spend the money they charge to get this one, but if you do love the brand, you trust this brand or loving it more than the ones I just mentioned, it's more easier to access, I would recommend. But to me, I think price point is very important because if you do use sunscreen on a daily basis, you'll run through a lot in a year. Alright, moving to my top 3 excitements here. So my number 3 is the Bondi Sands Daily Moisturizing Face SPF50 Plus Full Spectrum UVA UVB Protection Water Resistance for 4 hours Sunscreen Lotion. This is a fragrance-free virgin, paraben-free. It contains vitamin E and is a non-greasy formula. This is a chemical sunscreen and this pretty much has everything that I want for a sunscreen except it's not matte finish. So high SPF is good for sensitive skins. I used it the second day after I'd done my bleach because this one I just cannot make it work. I had no problem. And I can use it on my face and my body, works well by itself, works well with makeup, it's not peeling, it's not feeling greasy. I think the finish of this one just by itself, it's a little bit towards the shinier side, probably because they also contain vitamin E, like really nourishing. So I would say it's a really good winter sunscreen, or if you're someone having a bit of dry skin. And it's quite affordable. 75 mils is a good size, and I like the slim packaging design, so you know, travel friendly. Compared to this one's obviously having more product, but it just feels like the size, they can change and make it a bit easier to put into smaller bags for sure. So I love everything about it, and they came out with new skincare range. I was like so excited, wanting to try, and I saw few people actually did a collaboration with the brand and they reviewed on YouTube their own, like their official channel. So I really wanted to give them a go. If you want me to review that, please leave your comments down below so I know it and I give a reason to get my hands on it, because I'm having a low buy budget for the year of 2020. Overall speaking, I do really recommend this, especially if you're having a drier skin and loving that sort of natural finish of the sunscreen, nothing too matte or too glowy. You will love this one for the face and as well for your body if you wanted to use that way. They do have bigger bottles that to be used on the body, so this is a face version dedicated for the face. But what I love just a little bit more, it's the Woolworths one. I'm really surprised by the Woolworths. This one, chemical sunscreen, also their zinc ones. I think if you're someone living in Australia, you can access to Woolworths. You don't even to look for other brands. Their house brand is really good. So I've reviewed their zinc version last year, which I can leave it somewhere here. But this is my chemical version of the sunscreen. I think that zinc one, I almost put in my number 1 or something. It was a winner for that roundup as well. This is their Sunscreen SPF50 Plus Everyday Lotion. You got 100 ml bottles here. They give you 4 hours water resistant. It says it's a non-greasy formula. Again, UVA, UV broad spectrum protection for sure. I have no words for it. It's really good, except again, I think the finish is one of those not greasy, not shiny, not matte, not illuminating, just, you know, sort of satiny finish. And I feel more comfortable to use this not just for my face, for all around my body, because it's more affordable and it gives you 100 ml for the bottle. But if you're someone loving the zinc one, pure mineral sunscreen with no tint, they do have one as super good. I believe both of these are less than $10 or around $10 mark. Every time now I shop at Woolies, I go through their sunscreen lotion pile. You know, they would put a lot of like big brand Banana Boat and everything on the side aisles for you to like recommend you to shop and purchase. I really hope they put out some of their own because they're really good and affordable. And something for my number 1 for this roundup is something I did not expect it to love, the Roch-posay one. This one someone recommended to me. If it's not last year, it could be even the year before when I started my channel. And I believe one of my Chinese subscribers commented in one of the other social media as well. And I said, I really want to try it, but I never get my hands onto it. This year when we go on for travel, I know Emma's going to have a lot of swim sessions. And I don't know if you can tell, but I'm still tan, like a lot compared to what I used to. And I try my best, and I still got sunburn from one day where I finished shower, put on my skincare, and we decided to have a walk when it's already sunset. Like the sun was half set already. So I had 20 minutes walk outside. I felt nothing. And when I came back the night, I washed my face again, obviously went out, and it was so red and burning. So I couldn't use all the other sunscreen that I brought with me because they're all chemical. But this is also a chemical sunscreen, and I can use this one. And I haven't told you the name for this. This is Wet Skin Sunscreen SPF50 Plus. They have their own wet skin technology, which is suitable to be applied directly for the wet skin. You don't have to, you know, pat it dry or anything. You can just lather it on and it will stay there. It is under dermatological testers and the pediatrician control for sensitive skins, so it's really suitable for everyone in the family, and it's a perfect size. Each bottle gives you 250 ml. They really think about you would like to apply this for the entire body, and I do really appreciate it. I think the one that I bought was on 40% sale, maybe cost me nearly $30. My camera died on me because it was too hot and I completely forgot where I was. I was just taking some photos so I can insert in the video as I do reviews. Anyway, I think I am at to the point where I'm about to tell you how good this is, which I've already mentioned a little bit, but yeah, let me tell you a little bit more about this and why I so love it. The light might be different because I closed half of the curtain so the camera doesn't get direct sunlight, otherwise it get too hot and I'd stop working. This is a chemical sunscreen, but they have their own technologies, and Roch-posay are really good at like innovating using very new, updated technology, chemical ingredients. Unlike some of the, you know, traditional drugstore ones from Australia or the rest of the world, they're still using the old goodies. They have some really good new ones and seems to be more friendly to sensitive skins, and that's how I felt when I was knowing my skin was going through sunburn damages. I tried my regular sunscreen, it was burning, which I'll give an update because I finished that one completely. I'll show you in empties. And when I put this one on my face, it was an instant moisture and a barrier protect. You can feel like there are things sinking into your skin, yet it's not irritating you. It just like infused a good product in there. Although my face was looking shiny, and that's absolutely not something that I want, but for the purpose of during those days and the reason why I put sunscreen, I couldn't care less. As long as it's not sensitive and it's good to use and I feel like well protected, I was really surprised by this one. And I think a lot of the Roch-posay products, when I review it past, I always saying that the finish of them is not the best, and I still agree with what I said before. But again, if you are very sensitive skins, I do think the brand is worthwhile to trying it. When you're having super sensitive skins, your priorities are different. You know, my normal skins are not sensitive, so I start asking extra things. When you are sensitive, all you want is something works for you without irritating your skin, and I think they have really good products here, and I really love this one. This has become my go-to if we're going out for travel, for a short trip where it's gonna be some swimming, or if I worry gonna get a sunburn, I'll definitely bring this one along. And like I said, big bottle, good for the whole family, so it's not that expensive if you calculated it price per unit wise. And that concludes everything for today's video. I really enjoyed the things that I found. I'm happy that I tried some of the popular ones, and I think one of you guys recommended the close ones, and I realized it's not the cup of tea. And the one that you guys recommended, again, it's really a holy grail, so I can't appreciate enough and can't not wait to dive into my next chapter. I'm actually having two sort of ideas at the moment. I want to do one like Asian sunscreen reviews, and also another one just like Aussie sunscreen. So maybe let me know which one you want to see first, either Korean, Japanese, Asian sunscreen first, or another chapter of Aussie sunscreens. That is all for today. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give me a like and consider subscribe down below. The Q&A videos that you guys have been asking for a long time is already uploaded by now, so if you missed that, I can make sure that you check it after this video. It's questions that you guys asked from the previous giveaway about me and Emma. We had so much fun filming it, and there's so many technology issues, but we overcome everything and presented to you. Anyway, I hope you're just having a really good day. Let's stay safe and stay positive, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!